gonna get one of these.
Oh yeah, we already reserved one.
It's electric! Boogie, woogie, woogie! Play my music. Alright, we're back with Brian and we're talking about the Slate EV, the newest electronic truck that's gonna be hitting the market soon. Brian, first, most important question. What are you sticking in your front?
Probably my backpack.
Do you have a cowboy backpack?
Backpack. Solid, solid. All right, so the Slate EV is a rear-wheel drive electric truck that's coming out. We're gonna go through some quick feedback from Brian, see what he thinks about it. What is your first impression of the Slate?
I love it. I love the concept. I love the idea of an affordable two-door truck. But what's even better is that it's all modular. From what I can tell, you can modify as you go.
Okay, so is this something you would daily?
I could see this being a very good daily for select people. For me, I do need a back seat, so one of the additions would be a back seat, and I have to figure out which top that I would like. For my business, I could see it as a perfect business around town vehicle. But for me, would I daily it? I would not daily it, but I would put one of my daughters into daily if they were of driving age. I think it's the perfect first car.
Okay, I can see your point on that. Are you to a point now where you trust EV?
I have very limited experience with EV, but at some point, you're gonna have to touch it, sit in it, press the pedal. The instant torque is fantastic on every electrical vehicle that I've ever driven. It's a different driving experience, but for most people, an EV is highly practical. Like, I totally understand road trips, that's different. But for your everyday A to B car, whether you're going to work or even sales around town, it seems like the battery technology is there to be fully sufficient.
Okay, so if we had everything that the Slate offers with the modular design, rear wheel drive, the price point starting at 20 grand, would you rather have the EV or a traditional truck?
I'm excited to see what it looks like, right? So my wheelhouse is 1995 to 2005, sub $10,000 is where I play all day long. But, pending the price of the accessories and the add-ons, I think this is fantastic. Like I said, first-time driver, it has 2 seats, okay? For the whole first year, maybe, it's only 2 seats. Then you can upgrade them. Put a top and a back seat in. They're working their first job. They could add Bluetooth speaker, or they could add speaker system, or they could add power windows. But you buy them the basic A to B and let them work for making it theirs. I think this is what's been missing in the car market is, we grew up with the tuner cars,
Right.
and then now trucks are kind of the tuner cars. There are also Jeeps, but on those platforms, sometimes the barrier to entry is so high.
Right.
So now we have the new, tuner, whether that's, comparing it to a Civic back in the day, but is it going to be quick? I'm sure it's going to be fun with the instant torque, but knowing that your Slate doesn't look like your best friend's Slate, doesn't look like your neighbor's Slate, doesn't look like all of the other white F-150s in the world.
Okay.
But yes, I'm a traditionalist. I'd love gas powered, but would I order a Slate? Yeah, I have one on pre-order. Like, I get it. I want to touch it. I want to play with it.
How do you feel about the total entry level, the crank windows only, no infotainment center, no fancy options. Because I mean, that's today's market is all fancy, fancy, fancy. That's why these trucks, a base F-150, costs 60 plus grand.
Right. So you're upgrading your infotainment every 2 years anyway. Right?
Valid.
This screen is bigger than a screen in a 2016 F-150
Right.
that came stock. It has more capabilities and powers than anything 10 years ago. So you're constantly upgrading your infotainment system. How many times do you use a Bluetooth speaker, whether you're at your house or whatnot? It pumps off. There's enough people in this world that have Bluetooth speakers in their everyday car,
Right.
right?
Right.
So the basics are great. Like that's why the Ford Maverick was so intriguing when they said you could get a Ford Maverick, 4 doors and a bed for 20 grand. Well, what is it? 4 years after they introduced it, now base price is like 28 grand.
It's higher now. They're going to be 33 for the 26 model.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. To get something at 20 brand new with a warranty that's an EV, not a gas powered, I don't think there's very many vehicles MSRP lower than 20. You might have a Mitsubishi here or there, but I still think you're under 25, you're not under 20.
Right. So do you think the battery specs are good enough? Standard battery, you're 150 miles, extended 240.
Like I said, EVs are practical. Well, I'm going to go over 90% of the population and how they drive every single day and every single week. So 150 miles, that's fantastic for first-time drivers, fantastic for the A to B, going downtown, it's 10 miles each way, it's 20 miles a day, it's 100 miles in a work week. Got the weekend, one of those days you charge it. So if you want to charge once a week, that's 150 miles. But I think the flexibility to upgrade your battery to the extended life is great for commercial fleets, whether they want to run around town and only charge it twice a week. But getting 80% of your battery in 30 minutes, that's a lunch break. So
Right.
if you are using it as a tool, you just have to schedule that in.
And so it comes in 5 basic body styles: the truck, the square back kit, the fastback kit, the open air kit, and the cargo kit. Of those, what's your first go-to? Obviously, you're going to get the Slate, just the bare bones. But what's your favorite setup?
So what is me? I mean, I could see the fastback in every high school parking lot, as well as the standard Slate. You know, we don't live where we need surfboards.
Speak for yourself.
And I don't think this is going to be marketed as like an overland type vehicle.
Solar panels on
So-
the roof.
Right, so the square back, it's just a different look, kind of that Jeepish Range Rover Defender type. The open air would be very fun. Like that would be like taking a top off a Bronco or a Jeep or anything like that, where you get that experience. But that's your weekend car. That's not your everyday car if it's the open top. So for me, it's either the standard or the fastback is what I'm drawn to right away. But what I'm most drawn to is the customization, the infinite ability to change it up. And I mean, I'd love to be that person that if you don't want a DIY, then you can bring it here. Like, I see this in only a positive light.
So it's a modular truck that you can see yourself or us as a company being the beneficiary. It's adult Legos, and
It is.
You're looking at like maybe us being the place where they can get the opportunity to see the products,
Right.
look at the products. Okay.
Yeah, so when you think about 20 grand, it's a mental mind wrap for a lot of us that are, above 35, is that you almost have to cut it in half. Would this truck be super interesting at 10 grand?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Right? So McDonald's is not $4 for a value meal. It's closer to $8, $9. So,
Right.
so you got to think like that too. So if you have a hard time conceptualizing the 20 grand, cut it in half if you're over 35, and you're going to be like, wow, this is a steal.
Right, very true. And the fact that it's made in the U.S., which, I mean, that's a big one for us. We use a lot of made in the U.S. products here. Anything else that just stands out to you that's like, hell yes, everybody should look into this product?
They're trying to be disruptive. So this can only be good for the car industry as we see other manufacturers maybe dip their toe into it or try to figure out how, how they made their formula work of getting an affordable car. So that's going to help everybody with the price of cars. So you will have this standard A to B entry level vehicle that'll get you where you want to go at an affordable price. So it's only going to be good for consumers, in my mind.
Anything else you want to add?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
There's nothing else you want to add? Are you sure you've covered the entire slate?
Well, it's no longer playing.
That's what I was looking for. Make sure you click the like and subscribe. Tell them to like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe so I don't have to listen to them. All right.
Yeah, anything else?